There is a culture now whereas you could say whatever you want to say. There's going to be no ramifications. Yeah, Tony Khan isn't going to do anything. He's not going to say anything because he's not a leader. He absolutely is not a leader. So they know they have the freedom to say whatever they want to say, and they're going to say there's going to be no consequences.
Moxie with the comment on there's a lot of drama in AEW. Meanwhile, being one of the most highest paid wrestlers in AEW right now. EC3, if you had Moxley money, how much would you bury the company like he is right now?
Well, I would, as much as I felt necessary to make change or prove a point.
Is he proving a point by just saying this stuff? Huh?
I don't know. It's like you do have to have some sort of sense of loyalty to whom you're embedded with and doing business with if you want your business to succeed, if you want to be even a legitimate threat to the top company, or B, a sustainable company for the future of professional wrestling. But at the same time, when you get so turned off by the negative behavior, bad actions, and dare I say, lack of leadership, you just kind of have to let it all out, and it all starts at the top. Everything, a true leader accepts accountability and responsibility for each and everything that's happening to their project or their prize or whatever they're leading. So it comes down to one at this point.
Vince, was Moxley justified in his tirade written comments about AEW?
Bro, there's a culture now. It's piggybacking off of what EC3 said. Bro, there is a culture now whereas you could say whatever you want to say. There's going to be no ramifications. Yeah, Tony Khan isn't going to do anything. He's not going to say anything because he's not a leader. He absolutely is not a leader. So they know they have the freedom to say whatever they want to say, and they're going to say there's going to be no consequences. Think about that. And here's how we can always measure this. It's so easy. If he were working for the WWE and said that about, first of all, he would never have said that about the WWE. But if he would have, what would the consequences have been? That's the difference, bro. That's the difference between the two companies, man.
And to your point, Vince, he said it after, like he aired his grievances after he left the WWE. You know what I mean? Because he was like, out of respect and out of praise for and fear, in a sense of for Vince McMahon with his aura is concerned. With his aura, ain't no way I'm saying what I said. Afterwards. During my time in WWE. I mean, when he left WWE, he was talking about how miserable he was, and Nia Jax, I think he mentioned something about her, and I mean, he was airing some dirty laundry. And I mean, he wasn't trying to bury Nia, but I think he said something about talking about like he was supposed to take some bump from Nia or something like that. He didn't like the fact that he had to do these things. He had so much stuff to say about how miserable he was in the WWE after, not during. So, I do think that there's a big difference there as far as respect is concerned. EC3 for someone who's in the business, who knows, Moxley, and he's a straight shooter. He's someone who's known for speaking his mind. Yeah. Why do you think that he feels so confident with speaking about this during his AEW run, as opposed to saying a lot of the stuff about his grievances in WWE after the fact?
Well, I think first thing it comes down to, when you're financially secure and you don't need it. I mean, everybody likes having more money, but I think the fact that he's had such great runs and great deals in both companies, that like, he's not a money guy. He's not like buying frivolous things. He's probably well saved and very happy and being content. And I think he's the kind of guy who's very, like, money providing comfort's great, but it's not the end all be all. So even if by taking that risk, if that was taken away, he'd be like, well, whatever, I can go back to WWE, or I'll make $8 billion doing indies. Like, having that freedom, I think, allows him to shoot straight. And why he did it while under the banner of the company as opposed to not under it, because now was the time to do it. Perhaps he wants to instill change or put, the fire under the asses of the people in charge, or he wants out, or he just doesn't care and he's open, honest, and will speak his mind, which I respect that.
It's interesting that you say that because, and I'm listening to both of y'all's take on this. There's a lot of people who had that grass is greener feel when they left the WWE going into AEW, and they felt as if the grass is going to be greener and things are going to be so awesome. And I've been held by Vince for so long, and of course there's a lot of criticisms when it comes to Vince McMahon. EC3, you would know that very well. But at the same time, a lot of people, there was a mass exodus of people who left WWE. And it's like, okay, I'm cool, I'm good, you know what I mean? And then you're not really good because of the atmosphere in AEW, one, and two, how you're used. I mean, look at Miro, for instance. You know what I mean? For someone who had Rusev Day shirts and it was super hot, he's like, okay, here's Miro. Terribly used. Andrade's another person. He leaves WWE. Terribly used. And so, like, for a while, Black was, Aleister Black or Malachi Black. He came in, he was used in a way that was interesting, got right into that Cody feud. After the Cody feud, another one. Like, it's so many, there's name after name after name that had that grass is greener effect that they haven't experienced it. Vince, what is your opinion on how the AEW has kind of delivered, in a sense, empty promises when it comes to the promise, or the feel at least, that things are going to be better on this side as opposed to WWE?
Well, bro, listen, bro, maybe some things are better on that side. Number one, and, EC3 can verify all this. Number one, the schedule. The schedule is probably better. They don't have to work as much as they had to work at WWE because they don't have the same schedule. So that probably means more time home with your family. That's a good thing. Bro, I'm sure they're probably getting the same, if not more, than the WWE.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. But again, bro, I would find EC3 will understand this. Chris, you will understand this. Okay. If you are a creative animal, an outside of the box creative animal, bro, all the money in the world and all the off time in the world, okay, is not going to feed that creative need.
Yeah, especially if your outlet is your art, so to speak, your wrestling, then if you're only doing it, especially on that schedule, we are not even doing it that much, one day a week, creatively unfulfilled, sitting at home, is a dangerous recipe for somebody with a mind like that.
And I think that's the part. That's where they're unhappy, because listen, man, that's the one thing about these guys, man. They are creative. I mean, when bro, guys like the Young Bucks and Moxley, say whatever you want about the matches and whatnot, but there is a level of creativity and doing stuff out of the box and trying new things. If you've got a guy, that's just writing the shows and you're really not getting fed that outlet, you're going to feel the same way you felt when you were in the WWE, regardless of how much money you're making and regardless of how much time you have off.
I would even say worse to an extent, because again, look at someone like a Miro, man. Yeah. I mean, like, he comes in as
about Miro too. We talked about it earlier, but I remember vividly the signing of Miro and the leader's comment that I'm going to make this man a star.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
What happened? I mean, we're not there, so we don't know. But go ahead, because you bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, what happened is we don't see him. You know, it has nothing to do with being medically cleared. I mean, he's on Twitches. He's like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, there was a movie that people were talking about that he was in for a second, and he's like,
not work, getting paid to play video games, getting paid like, well, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, good for you. But to your point, though, he's just like balling up, you know, creatively. Like he doesn't have that opportunity to be an entertainer.
There's a reckoning coming in this industry that all that free money is going to go away very soon.
Yeah,
this whole landscape is going to drastically change.
And why would you pay so much money to just sit on their butts and play? I mean, like, good for him, but like that from a business standpoint, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, there's two high-end monetary games in town, short of like being like Cardona with his, you know, brilliant independent strategies. I mean, there's plenty of ways to make very, very good money, but as far as to be locked into a contract, there's two high-end contractable places. You're bidding against yourself.
Yeah,
you're paying for friends at this point. And like, sucks when you pay for friends, or you do business with friends, or, you know, you like to play with your toys, but then your toys get a little restless. They start fighting back a little bit. You just don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this continues to unfold.